with her is the baby of the house. He's seated right in our front. After Melodua, just wave your hand. Yes. She's always supporting mommy. Even when I was doing for my class, going around. Thank you. And every representative. So while I was calling the head of the department to the table, one of our awesome guest speakers he was working in also. So let me welcome him also to the high table. He's a researcher that works on the Institute of Agricultural Research and Training IRT Ibadan. Help me welcome Dr. Obina. Thank you. Hope I pronounced it correctly. Thanks for the honor. Thank you, sir. Please let the clap keep going. Let's give them that honor that they deserve. Thank you. Thanks for coming around. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we're going to keep the program filled with acknowledged distinguished members. So let us start with the provost speech. Professor Jonathan J. Atugo, that is ably represented by the Deputy Provost Academics, Dr. Mrs. Okweze. Thank you, ma'am. Please let the clap keep going. Thank you. Thanks for the support always. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm here to represent the person of Professor Jeremiah J. Well, before I start my speech, I would like to welcome our guests, most especially our friend from IRT, Professor Jaya, and our friend too. Mommy, you're welcome. I welcome everybody today. Yes, we started yesterday, and thank God we are proceeding. We are moving forward towards this program. I welcome you all to this great college, Federal College of Agriculture, the students, the deans, all our guests, distinguished guests. I welcome you to this program. It's Food Week. And thank God yesterday they fed us well until we fed up. Today has come again for this great program, the day 2. So I welcome everybody present. And this is a great college. And we know the college established in 1921. We are no more kids. If the one that was born in 1921, I believe the man would have been over 100 years. And thank God for today. The Food Technology Department, they come up with a program. And we believe, God, that it will all end in praise and thanksgiving. Now it gives me a great pleasure to speak on indigenous Nigerian food processing. Yes, when we talk of indigenous, our mind will always go to the rural area. People sighted over there, and it has to cut across different ethnic groups. Indigenous Nigerian food processing. It refers to traditional methods used by different ethnic groups to preserve to detoxify, and to add value to the crops. If we ask ourselves today, most of us, we have eaten this morning before coming. And the food is not just start from farm to the dining table. For instance, something like cassava, something like this, farm fruits, and a lot. It started from the farm. After harvesting, what happened next? There's nobody that will say, I just brought the cassava and start eating. No. It has to undergo some process before you will add value to it, before it will be detoxified. Something like cassava, I believe, there is a toxic at the point of harvesting. You can't just eat it like that. But it has to undergo some processes to remove that toxic substances there to make it fit for human consumption and to add value to it, adding value to it to make it durable. The durability, turning into garri. Yesterday they gave me one pack of garri. They call it garri. Thank you very much for that gift. We don't just come and say we are making food. We are drinking coffee. We still have to do some processes. And indigenous, that is the way they prepare these things. Different ethnic groups, Igbos, Hausa, Yoruba, FCAIB, all of us, we are in different groups, ethnic groups, and there's a way they prepare all these things. At times we say, do we have enough food? Yes, even when we have enough food. Is that food safe? Is it nutritious? Is it sustainable? Is it accessible? Some people might have food, but that food, before we eat it, we must, the food must be safe to be taken. After it would have undergone some processes. Then nutritious, like the garri, nutritious, we know it's made from cassava. There's something has been added to make it continuous. And that is a very good one. Then, is it sustainable? Can we sustain? If it's sustainable, is it accessible? Can people reach out? Can we sell it to people? Can people get it to feed on? So food technology determines whether a harvest can feed a nation or become harvest waste. Yes, when it's feed a nation, we have achieved our goal. But if it becomes post-harvest waste, we have wasted some of those produce, even cassava. It's ready. I know that the process of preparing food, the wrap to sell, is different from the process of making garri. It's two different processes entirely. Somebody that actually glass of cassava. I was saying, what do we use it for? He said, okay, let's put it somewhere where they will make it to be garri. I said, I can't really produce food. He said, no, if we keep it something rotten under 1 week, but it's better we use it. By the time we got there, the process, they will charge for this, charge for that, charge. By the time I calculated the money, I said, does he want it? Does he want it? Why can't I use that 11,000? Like, well, woman just go and buy that. How do they make their profit? I don't know. But at the same time, I said, well, we have come. There's also we can do. Anyhow, just let's take it. Because we need garri. It has to go undergo that process. So here in Nigeria, food technology is not an abstract discipline at all. We are training you. In the class, you learn a lot about food technology. It's not an abstract thing, it's a practical thing. Practicality. You have to get into it after the classroom work, go out there, put in practice what we have learned in the classroom. It is the difference between the raw materials. We get eggs, we get cassava, we get different things. It's between the raw materials and finishing products. Most of the finishing products we know, cassava is the raw material, maize is the raw material, a lot, we have a lot, that when it undergoes some processes, it will come out to its best, adding value to it, being nutritious, being accessible, and being available. But there are some problems that we undergo even when we are producing all these things. The food technology here is the difference between oat that was produced within 24 hours and the oat powder that lasts 6 months. No oat. If we are to produce oat today, if we don't finish it that day, within 24 hours, we notice that it will start rotting. We start seeing maggots today. But the same oat can undergo some process and we make it in powder form that can last as long as 6 months. So the knowledge and the standard required must be met for global markets. All these have to do with food processing and preserving, food safety and quality. What's the safety of that food? What is the quality of that food? Those things we are producing. Thank God for NAFDAC. NAFDAC has really helped us to make sure that our food meets up with the international standard. Some of these things, when we package them, if it does not meet international standard, you will not be allowed to sell them. So it must. Then value addition. Has it added the value, the product development, example, corn maize, yam, palm fruits, and legumes into competitive products. We can see some of these industries all over. We signed an MOU with one company, Cocoa. They are into coconuts. They will package it. You know, it looks so, but that's their own traditional way. They thank God for our engineers today. They have brought up machines that can help us to do some of these things without that traditional ways of doing it. And when we have such produce, it must be sustainable, sustainability, continuity. And in the market, you find out that even people selling for food, this one you notice is this one. It's white. That's the color, it will be white. The other one is a little different ways people prepare their food. And I asked person, why is it that your fufu is not like this one? Someone was telling me that they used to add bleach to it. Can imagine the level at which we have gone in this country. That's even problems with food. And that is what causes some of these diseases we are having today. When you eat a food, they added alcohol. Can imagine what it can be destroying our organs, more in the system. But I think that one black is better. That they didn't add any toxic anything, they just process it. So this morning, to our students, the future of the food in Nigeria will be shaped by all of us. The engineers, the microbiologists, food technologists, nutritionists, and entrepreneurs among us. Some of these raw materials, you find out the companies will come, they will buy them. And the finished goods will be wonderful. They will use some of them and produce certain things, so many things that will last longer than if it's just from that raw material you prepare anything. Like there's what we call tapioca. You know, we call it abacha in Igbo. From the same cassava tuber, you'll be able to produce that. And that will last longer than just making fufu with it. So some of these problems we should consider. It can cause us a health issue if the toxins there are not removed. And then the health and the safety issues. Cassava contains toxins, which we know, and also the microbes that are being contaminated. At times, when they jump, they will bring it into ordinary flow like that. Dogs will be there, perching on them, flies, everything, and they will start developing animals. These are some of the problems. If we try to place them on unhygienic conditions, it can cause foodborne illnesses. And then the quality and consistency. Problems, low standard, processing is by eye, feeling. There's nothing to measure or how to test. It's just by eye. You say, okay, this one. Just like a river that is cooking. You don't measure your salt. You just, by feeling, you know, by seeing, you just put your salt and the food is tasty. So, to maintain that quality, to get to high standard, we have to. The indigenous cannot give us all this. It has its own problem that comes with it. The labor and efficiency. Labor is labor intensive, but by the time our engineers start producing on some of these machines that will help us, it will be easier. It's labor intensive. At the same time, economic and market barriers. If we don't package well, people will not patronize. I don't know, I've never seen the way they like cassava, fufu, they will just put in nylon and wrap. But garri, you can package it well. If you see this nylon now, you don't know that it's garri that is there. But it's garri that is there. It's already packaged well, it has added value, and every other cross items. Then gender burden. The processing is mainly done by women. By the time I got to hear that processing garri, I noticed it's mainly women that are. The men, they see it as this one is meant for women. Women should go and but few men are stayed here. Yes, notwithstanding. So the processing is mainly done by women, and is a gender burden to women with little or no mechanization. If we can bring in mechanization kind of farming, everything will be easier and better. So some of the solutions I put down, I said better fermentation control, using starter cultures for ogi. Iru is another one, to reduce bad microbes there. And call fermentation period from 3 days. Instead of 3 days, we can make it to last for 24 hours. Improve on the detoxification of those toxins found in some of these produce by extending the soaking, grating, pressing, roasting of cassava to reduce the toxic substances in cassava, and some others. We can decide to go for solar drying it inside instead of outside to avoid microbes growing or flies perching on them. Then mechanization of technology, small-scale mills, graters, pressure, naturalized cassava graters, hydraulic presses, hammer millers. We have some millers even in our engineering sector, which helps to cut down labor at least by 70%. Instead of the way we do it, use your hand tackling from intensive. But when we get into mechanized and technology way of doing it, it makes it easier and better. We improve on the quality and value addition by standardizing recipes and training for garri, fufu, plantation flour, even plantation. We can turn it to flour that will make it to last longer. Plantain chips are there that can last longer than just preparing it for like plantain frying, just eating. To ensure consistency, when technology comes in, the consistency, the accessibility, the value is bound to improve. Then packaging, we must package them well. Package them with polythene for garri, like this one present here, ogi, making it to cornstarch, yes, to powder form, palm oil to reduce noxure and increase self. I'm rounding up already, so thank you. So for our students here, I say thank you for bridging the gap. The food technology students, I believe by the time you graduate from that department, it will give you an avenue for self-reliance. You can go into all this. FCAIB Ibadan remains committed to advancing for technology through research and learning. Thank you. And God bless you.
Please let the crowd keep going. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you, Mom. Thanks for the beautiful speech that you're giving to us. You will handle some of the things we have on the agenda. Also, our students, are you learning? Are you getting something? Wow, that was awesome. Okay, thank you, Mom. Thanks for the beautiful speech. So while our presentation was going on, please let's acknowledge some of our distinguished colleagues that came in while the speech was going on. We have Dr. Oman from IART. He has some of his colleagues with us. Please help me honor Mr. Abdeliji. For coming around, for supporting Dr. Omi. Thank you. That was awesome. So while they're working also, we also have one of our daddy that came in. He has been a very great support. He has been with us all the way from the beginning. And I'm sure we'll round up this week with him also. God helping us. So please let me help me honor Dr. Omoyajo, Director, Art and Technology. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the honor, thanks for the encouragement, thanks for your support. God bless you. So while we seated, we also have our wonderful senior colleagues working in also. Awesome researchers, beautiful role models, in person of Dr. Mrs. C.O. Kayode. Please come forward, ma'am. Please come forward. Thank you, ma'am. Please come forward. She was the dean of School of Agriculture of Agriculture. Mr. Agapono. Thank you, ma'am. And someone that always work with her also, a beautiful colleague, a beautiful sister. Please help me know the Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Mrs. Komolake Igboho. Thank you. Thanks for the honor of this invitation. Thank you so much. Okay, while both our esteemed colleagues, researchers were recognized, let me invite my dean, like I said earlier, the microbiologist par excellence, Dr. Oluwafemi Adejire. Thank you. Thank you. Please let it keep going. The support has been amazing. It was an encouragement. When I said, my dean, can we achieve this? Okay. It was like we will achieve it. And with God on our side, the impossibility is going to be possible. Thank you.
Thank you. The provost also, in the capacity of the acting provost academically took caps today. The directors, deans present, the entire management, our honorable guests, the students, my colleagues, sorry about the other, ladies and gentlemen. The provost has done justice even to a number of things I would have encouraged you on, because this program actually is designed for the students specifically. And let me just appreciate everyone who, out of their very busy schedule, is here with us. If you look at the schedule of the people we have here with us, you would know they shouldn't be here. It's because they just feel they should come and celebrate this with us. So please, just give them a round of applause. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Thank you. I will just say a few things as they affect us, as they would affect this program, and that will be all for me. It will not be fair not to appreciate the head of the department, Dr. Omoya, for what she has contributed so far to this program. I could practically say I've not seen her work this hard since I known her. She broke down at some point and then she had to encourage herself again, and she's here. And I appreciate the staff too that have been helping her. You would think that department is made up of 100 staff. Yes, they have committed their best to these things. God bless you abundantly. Thank you for your doggedness, for your resilience, for not minding and still putting in your best. God Almighty will continue to bless and sustain you. We will need that energy to move this forward. We will need that energy to move your department forward. And I believe everything will go on well by the grace of God. Now, I just have to sell the college very briefly. The college has a goal, and that is being the best among people. And that is in the context of the agricultural institution. And what they are doing today, the food technology, or what we are doing today, is in line with that. So that at the end of the day, we can bring, especially the food technology students, as well as other students in the school, to that realization of what their program is all about, who they can possibly become, what they can do. I will not go into the details of what you are going to learn. We have experts that will teach you some of these things. But I just need to set notice that you are not just here because we think you are here because we believe you can learn from it. We believe this program can spur something in you. So we are trying to bring in experts from these fields, from the industry, from all walks of life in that food technology area, so that at the end of the day, you can see how they eventually are getting to become, and how we want you to also become what you are destined to become in life. You can learn a lot from them. So please listen to them with rapt attention. Now, the vision of this current administration, led by Professor Jonathan Jeremiah, is actually to sustain that institution as a first and the best. You would have heard this lot from him. And then you will see him reacting very quickly. If there is anything that would derail that vision, you see him reacting very quickly. Now, for our School of Applied Sciences, we also have to work in that tandem, because we can't be working across campuses. And to achieve that, we have laid down a number of things. Thank God, this is coming in. It is clearly within the objective of the school. And the fruition of all of this is so that the school itself can become a hub for training, technicians, technologies that will be very sound to fit into this mid-level technological requirements of the industries. So when we release you, you are industry ready. It is not as if you will get there and then you look as if everything you have is just theory. So I need you to pay very diligent attention to what they will be telling you. And I also need you to write things down and also ask them questions. You see, we have one thing that we are about to do now in the school. And I'm not sure how much the 2 students are going to benefit from it, but definitely the 1 student, thank God the food technology and 1 student are involved, can definitely benefit from it. What we are trying to do is bring the 3 departments in the School of Applied Sciences together in terms of research, so that, for instance, microbiology comes in. We are using food technology as the focal point now. Microbiology can come in the area of maybe value addition, in the area of food spoilage and so on and so forth. Then SLT2 can come in, working together with food technology. And at the end of the day, they can do all this phytochemical analysis, nutrient analysis, post-value addition analysis, and so on and so forth. Now, provided the school board, which is the School of Applied Sciences, approve this, because it has to still pass through the school board, what we are going to do is that we'll set this base and then give something, maybe 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira, as much as the school can afford, for students who will be working around that multidisciplinary research labs that will combine the 3 departments. So once we have that, definitely there will be supervisors from each of these departments. Then the head of them, which will serve like the principal investigator, will apply for these things. And then it will go directly to students' projects. So students who have been doing well will be encouraged to come in to that kind of research work and execute it. And that would be a substantial part of whatever it is the student is going to spend. So at the end of the day, we have wonderful outcomes that we can recommend for the college, for other departments, and then for the nation, and if God would have it, to the world. So we are looking at all of these things. And the reason why I'm happy is because this that we are doing today fits into all of the plans we also have in the school. So you can see that food technology in the School of Applied Sciences is intricately woven. It's perfectly situated in the School of Applied Sciences. So much so that you may not see it like that even elsewhere. So with that, I believe our audience online, present, you wouldn't mind coming in to relate with us on ways that we can interact to make the students better, which I believe you've already been setting the tone now, because you are going to teach them. We believe they are going to be better from whatever it is they get from you. So I should thank you again for coming. I appreciate your presence, and God will continue to help you. So let me round up by saying I would encourage the staff that are putting their best for this to happen. And why I have to say that is that, like I said, we will need that same energy to continue to move this school forward, to move this department forward. Please don't mind. Nobody may acknowledge you The HOD may not even see you, the dean may not know, and the provost may not see what you are doing, but God Almighty sees it and is going to reward you. And to the students too, like I always tell you, you have to consistently read because that matters. Whatever it is you are aiming to become, you have objectives. One of your objectives is to do well with your academics. Read like there is no tomorrow. Over-prepare if there is anything like that. Don't wait till they paste the timetable for exam before you start reading. So when we put all of these things together, we are sure that we are going to achieve our goal and our aim by the grace of God. So don't leave Federal College of Agriculture Ibadan and don't leave the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir, for that beautiful words of encouragement. Thank you. Thank you. We have some technical issues right that is coming up. My HOD, are you ready? Okay, while that is coming up, I called a lecturer of mine. There was a statement she said about food technology, food sciences. She said you can sell anything. And when she told us that in the class, we were like, sell anything. How? She said it's only a profession that can sell egg. Please, can you tell me how? Anybody in the house? How can we sell egg? Egg. A-I-R. A-I-R. How can we spell A? Anybody on the floor? I'm bringing the mic to you, so don't let me go to the scholars. They will answer the question. How can we spell A? And we're wondering how. And she said, it is only through technology that can do that. And she said, just ask it out. Oh, I like that impression. She said we can because we are the only one that incorporate egg into milk to give us ice cream. Yeah. We are introducing egg to eat. And you have ice cream, and you're buying it for a lot of money. I'm going to get ice cream. 2,000, yeah, go. It is affectful. Alright, that's a kilo, don't mind me. Okay, so while I'm saying that, the head of the department, Dr. Mrs. Omoya Jo, is coming up here to give us a presentation on why food technology. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. Let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. Thank you. Yes, like back up. You get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was actually hoping to bring the lights before I go home. And thank God the light is here. So I hope all of us are children of light. So, good morning once again. I can't hear you. Yes, I want to hear the voices of the students. Good morning, everybody. Yes, today is your day. I welcome you once again and I want to appreciate you for yesterday. But before I go on, I would like to give honor to whom honor is due. First, I would like to greet my provost in absentia, although represented by the deputy provost. Good morning, ma'am. And my team, thank you so much for your support all the time. Our guest lecturers, so this is Adeboye and Dr. Omega, you're welcome. And the invited guests, my directors, colleagues here, and I want to greet some certain people especially, and they are the staff of Food Technology Department. salute all of you. You've been so supportive, hardworking. Thank you so much. It's not easy to put something like this together. So much things go into the logistics, into the planning. And here we are today. It can only be God. So I give all the gratitude to God Almighty for making today a reality. Yes, we started yesterday, and we thank God for the successes of yesterday. And we thank God also because today we have started already and we know that it's going to end well. This morning I'm here to talk to us on why food technology matters. Why food technology? Why are we here? Why did you come to school to study food technology? You know, for so many people, when they hear food, what comes to their brain is cooking. They're just very clear to go and cook. I don't just do home science then, but food tech is way more than home science. Food tech is one of the very few disciplines that combines so many courses together. As a food technologist, you are an engineer. As a food technologist, you are a microbiologist. As a food technologist, you are a chemist. As a food technologist, you are a nutritionist. As a food technologist, you can do the work of a dietitian to some level. You can see that food technologist is a multidisciplinary course. The dean also mentioned something like that. You know, when I was younger than this, I was like, in fact, this food thing is jack of all trades. Because I remember when I was like you, in ND, we only do any departmental course. We always find ourselves in other departments doing their courses. In a whole semester, we might only be doing, we did only one food tech course. And I wondered, why are we here, going there, you know? And I thank God for all the journey of studying and getting where I am today. Now we are also in that line. I'll be mentioning some things to you to keep them and run with them. Why food technology matters. Most of us, you just have one semester, you're in your second semester. For our guests, these are the first set of students that we have. They are in NG1, they just did one semester, they are in their second semester. So some of them are mentality of secondary school students. So we organize this program also to sensitize them, for them to know that their food science is way more than cooking and they are also in higher institution. So I go to my, let me open my slide so that I can begin the presentation in, okay, it's already there, why is it not showing there?
No, it's not showing down.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know it's already there. So, why food matters, okay, so we passed them. I don't know, we are on slide. Yes. As a food technologist, I want you to know that your role is very, very important. Why? Food is life. Food is life. We contribute so much to national development, to national food security. Without food scientists, Nigeria will not be food secure. Before I go on, I would like to quickly mention something. This program is live. We are on air. I've put the link on some of the groups that I am. It's on my status, so you can share it. You can go to the school YouTube page to also watch it after and just share broadcasting that we are live on air. We are on air. So like I was saying, food technology contribute so much to national development. Food security for the younger ones here, you know what food security means. Food security means making food available all the time. Not only available, it has to be safe, it has to be nutritious. It has to be safe and it has to be nutritious. That is where nutritional security also comes in. And also the role of food technology, it involves preserving our foods, storing our foods, drying them, and also packaging them. Somebody said, as a food scientist, we are only set of people, food technologists, that can sell air. At first I was thinking about that, how do we sell air? But when she mentioned it, I said, wow, it's true. She must have given it a very good thought. Our ice cream, that milk that we buy, what we do is, even when we incorporate air, when we are making our akara, that's what makes it fluffy, that's what makes it right. And the food is not complete until it is packaged. If I take my granules, put it in a nice packaging material, and I put it on the shelf, and another person comes, put it in nylon, just ordinary like that, the same quantity. You will pay more for my products. That is also part of the work of food technology. We are also into packaging. Now, food technology also supports political stability, public health, and economic growth. We are the discipline that links technology to national resilience in the terms of providing food at the right time for the community and for the nation. As students of food technology, your role in planning and in policy is to make sure that food is also available to everybody at every time. Now let us talk about the roles of food technologists. Like I mentioned earlier, we have to make sure that food is available to everybody at every time. Our work also includes extending the shelf life of food. What do I mean extending the shelf life of food? When the deputy provost was speaking, she was giving several analogies. She spoke about garri processing from cassava. In fact, she was already speaking like a food technologist. I was wondering, she has even given my presentation. Yes, she has said many of the things that I have to say. As a food technologist, you should be able to pick a product. For example, we have mango in season now. As a food technologist, your role is to pick that mango, see how you are going to preserve it so that it will be available all year round. And how can we do that? You can decide that, okay, mango, what about mango jam? Food technologists, remember we had the practical like that in the lab. We converted mango into mango jam. We did was it purple? The one with purple. Yes. The one with it's supposed to be on this table now as one of the samples that we are exhibiting. So we made a jam in the department. That is adding value to a product. We have added value to it. We have extended the shelf life of that fruit, although it is in another form. Then also, our work also involves distribution, that is sending all those food products to the right corners, to the right set of people. Also, the work of a food scientist is also making sure that the right that we provide food for everybody, particularly people in different stages of their life. We have foods that are meant for children, those that are meant for adults, those that are meant for people that are convalescing patients or people that are in the hospital. You understand? So it is our work as food scientists to make food available for them to eat. When you see any food that you see on the shelf, it's a work of a food scientist. All those canned corn, canned beans, all those drinks that we have. So as a food scientist, before you know it, you would have done something to address the problem of food insecurity in the environment. I think that we have enhanced product functionality. Value addition transforms raw crops to improve convenience, quality, and market appeal for customers. I'll try to mention that. For example, let's look at this bread, for example. This is a composite bread. When you say composite bread is a bread that has not one kind of bone, not one kind of fat. It contains, this bread is made from a mixture of wheat and pellet flour. The only use that we find for it, before we know, it will go extinct. So we incorporated pellet into bread to make it to reduce the quantity of wheat that we use, because Nigeria is not a major producer of wheat flour. On this table, we also have several other products that were developed by food technologists, like by food technologists, and you can develop your own products with time. And this should be giving you an idea. I want to open your mind concerning your final year products that will be your final year products. You start thinking, okay, what are we going to develop? All right, what food product am I going to develop? What solution? Before you can develop a food product, you also think about a problem in the society. When you think about the problem in the society, you now try to think too that, okay, now I have identified the problem. There is challenge of when some people eat things, they tend to have constipation. How can I reduce that constipation? How can I make people love? That is the work. You identify a problem and you try to look for a solution to address the problem. Then apart from all those things, food is also our cultural heritage. Just like I said that we use pale units, we don't want it to go into extinct. So we decided to add value to it by adding it to wheat flour to make bread. So let us think about it. Obviously, when we were on educational tour, they showed us lima beans. That is really, and they told us that they don't want it to go extinct. And they have tried to process things so that it will be easy for people to use, to cook. So that is exactly the work of food scientists. Look at some things that you have in your society and try to figure out how to make it more desirable to people. And also as food technologists, our work is to also make sure that we reduce waste, that is food waste, particularly when there is glut. Glut means when we have all this food in season. When we have glut, we need to reduce to find value to all those food so that we reduce waste. And also, as food technologists, we are entrepreneurs. You are an employer of labor. So start thinking big. Start thinking that, so it means I can start my own company. It means I can have people working under me. Yes, you are potential employer of labor. Then food is life, and food technology makes it better. So my time is almost up. So let me just go to the diverse career paths that we have that is that you can find yourself. As a food scientist, you can find yourself in food processing industry, conducting research, developing new products, and ensuring safety. You can also find yourself You are the one that developed the food. So you are the one that know how you want the food to behave in a packaging material. So you can work even as an engineer. You can also work with regulatory agencies like NAFDA, like FCAIB, etc. In R&D offices, you can work there as food scientists. For example, my background is in food science and technology, but now I do more with food microbiology, with microorganisms. My specialty is in food microbiology. So you can submit yourself, you can look for a niche to put yourself. You can look for your area of interest in food. Do I want to be in the processing line? Do I want to work in the laboratory? Do I want to work in regulatory agencies? So we have so many, even as engineers, so there are so many paths available to you as a food scientist. Now, I think that food scientist is not just a career, it's a launch pad for a meaningful, dynamic, and rewarding professional life. Every day brings fresh challenges, but you'll never be bored. Like this morning, before I came here and developed the product, I was just sleeping on my bed. I was thinking to me that we have a product in this your school, they call it mango ginger. I don't know if you have seen it before. Mango ginger. They sell it here in FCA. And I've read about it before. So I said, mango ginger, mango ginger. What can I do with mango ginger? So I just stood up from my bed. I have some at home. I stood up from my bed. I took the mango ginger. I have pineapple at home. I took it. I have lemongrass at home. I took it. And that was how I concocted something. Just this morning. And but if you look at it, you'll be amazed at the nutritional benefits of that drink. Mixing mango ginger and pineapple and that is it. You will never be bored as a food scientist. You will see tangible results for your work, and before you know it, you will have your products on the shelf in supermarkets. So this morning, I want to challenge you. I want to say you should join the revolution. For those of you that are already food scientists, your career can change the world. You can determine how people eat, how they live their lives, and how they thrive. And for people in other disciplines that are here, you also eat food. You are not here by mistake. You can also, in fact, our work is so much interrelated. And I know that as you all advance in your career, that you will make good opportunities, as you all advance in your career, that you will make good use of good relations in your dreams to achieve what you set out to achieve. Those in food, don't give up. This is just your stepping stone. You still have a long path ahead of you. And in fact, one of the speakers that we are bringing today, we both sat down in the same class, food technology ND, when I had ND, together. And he's going to be talking to us today. And today he's an employer of labor. He's a big man in the industry. So I want us to listen to him. He will tell us how he did it and which we can tap into it. God bless you. Thank you.
Ideas just keep coming. Thank you, man. Please let the class keep going. Are you tired already? Still going, Thank you. While I will be coming on our guest speakers for today, thank you. I just want us to have a little break because those speech were coming in and in, isn't it? So let's relax a bit. Let's listen to our calendar here. Don't stand up, though. Just listen to those beautiful words that we have in there. Mrs. Akande, are you ready? Okay. So before I call in our first guest speaker for today, I said earlier, she's a mentor, she's a role model, a researcher by excellence. Let that calendar take flight while I continue.
She also was a principal researcher at the National Agricultural Research Institute in 2012. She was a visiting research scientist at Leiden Institute for Agricultural Engineering and Bioeconomy, Potsdam, Germany, 2021. She's also a fellow of the Tech Fund Alliance for Innovative Research, 2023. Also a fellow of the Commercialization Innovation Fellowship 2026. Collector is a professional member and immediate past treasurer of the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, Western Chapter, NIFT, and also a member of the Organization for the Women in Science for the Developing World. Please clap for her. She has won several awards and fellowships, including the TWS CFD Corporation Visit Awards in Germany in year 2021. Also, the International Center for Theoretical Physics TWS Fellowship in Italy in 2016. Also, Netherlands Fellowship Program Awards in 2015. Also, African Women in Agricultural Research Development Award Fellowship in the year 2013. I still continue. Also, an African Nutrition Leadership Program in South Africa in 2013, amongst others. She has worked as a consultant to many local, national, and international organizations. She holds a patent on the method of processing and use of African star apple, agwalimo, the fruit tissue, passionate about research approaches and methodologies that handle food systems, food processing and food preservation for food nutrition and security to deliver outcomes in line with the SDGs. She hosts an online public enlightenment program on food safety called Food O'Clock at View Food O'Clock. And also she has established over 36 articles in local and international peer-reviewed journals, book chapter, and conference proceedings. We are happy to have you. Thank you for coming.
Please give her a standing ovation.
All right, I'm honored to be here this morning and say a very good morning to the provost, the dean of the faculty, the lecturers here present, ladies and gentlemen. When the citation was being read, I was wondering who was it. Okay, so all of those things are just titles. So what we will be discussing this morning is very, very practical. Is what concerns you and her. What concerns every one of us. I want to appreciate the Department of Food Technology for inviting me to be a speaker at this event. I count it a very big privilege and honor. Every time I have to stand in front of students to speak, I see it as fulfilling a divine mandate, to encourage you, to motivate you, to point you in the path that we have walked, and to guide you along your career path of becoming food technologist. So this morning, I observed some things. You will pardon me, I'm a very broad person. I observed some things that I was sitting there, and I would like to point it out. Number one, I noticed that we have just about 3 or 4 male students. Almost every other person are females. These are the guys that are not around or they didn't come to study food technology. Okay, so what the HOD said earlier, that the mentality is that food technology is for women, it's about cooking. Now, I would want you to listen attentively. food technology has nothing, I said nothing, to do with cooking. In fact, the science of food is the science of survival. So it has very little or nothing to do with cooking. And I would have been happy to see more guys in this place. But I'm sure that subsequently they will come to study food technology. So I also want to ask a question. Those of you that are here, the students, how many of you by yourself chose to come and study technology? Or it was what they gave me, that was where I could enter. That was the only option available. How many of you actually chose to come and study technology? I can only see 3 hands up out of almost 50 thereabouts. Okay, 4 hands. No, it's a good reflection of what it is. Even at my department in the rest of the life, many of them, they give them options to come and do electrical engineering. You know, if they are entering level and you say, come and do electrical engineering, we will give you. Start from other level, they will run and go. Now, those are some of the things I will address. Those are some of the things I will be sharing with you to see that you are in the right place. You are studying the right course. Now, what I observed before is that I was looking at many of you as the provost was speaking, as the judge was speaking. Over half of you were on your phones. I counted about 28 people out of 41 were on their phones. If I ask you what, I'm not sure many of you can answer. See, that is the tragedy of the times that we are in. I'm sure you know that a lot has gone into setting up this program. It's not just easy to bring people to organize programs, to do the logistics for you. Then you are here on the phone. See, I understand. I have some of my children in their institution as well. I know it is the ills of the times that we are. But this morning I want to encourage you. I'll be speaking for about 15-20 minutes. Please just give me your attention. I can assure that you will gain something tangible that you can run with in your career in these 15 minutes. So please, I don't like distractions. So please, you can just keep your phones away for the next 15 minutes. Thank you very much. All right. So my slide is here. All right. Processing indigenous Nigerian foods. The topic I was giving says problems and solutions. I didn't call it problems and solutions. Challenges and prospects. Challenges and opportunities. We cannot solve the problem of food. As long as we have remains, people will still be hungry. But you can optimize, you can take advantage of the opportunities that are available, especially in our indigenous Nigerian foods. And along the line during my presentation, I will share with you my own story, my own experience, and the work I do around indigenous food products. I want us to follow before I proceed. Okay. So, I'm a teacher, so I ask questions, you answer. I'm not going to stand there and do all the talking, and you do all the listening, and all the looking at me. We are all going to contribute. So, what are indigenous foods? What do we understand to be indigenous foods? Anybody? What do you know to be indigenous foods? If you don't answer, we call you.
Indigenous foods are food that comes from the rural area.
You said foods that come from the rural areas. Is that Well, you're correct in a way. Any contrary opinion wants to say something different or wants to add to it? Please pass it to her. Yes, you. Pass it to her. Quickly, quickly. I used to tell my students there's no stupid answer, there's no stupid question in my class. Okay? So when you are done, you pass to her. In my class, don't ever say I don't know. Even if what you say is rubbish, say it with every confidence. Is that right? So what is the beginner's food?
Food that comes from our...
Use the mic, use the mic. It is on already. The mic is on. Our traditional food. Okay, can you give me one example? Allah, God bless you. Thank you.
Please pass it to her.
That's the last person. Thank you very much. Says it better. Foods that grow in our environment. So I see here these are foods that are traditionally produced using indigenous knowledge and resources, and they are processed by indigenous technologies, fermentation, sun drying, smoking, salting, and so on. And foods are usually consumed by the local communities. Now, based on the classes of food, we have cereals like millet, sorghum. These foods are not Oyibo foods. They are our own indigenous foods. You may not see sorghum in America. You may not see millet in UK, but you will see wheat, rye, barley, oats there. But the ones that are traditional to us are the maize, the sorghum, millet, acha, and so on. Then we have our traditional roots and tubers, cassava. Nigeria is the world's largest producer of cassava. We produce the highest volume in the whole world. So cassava, yams, those are tropical crops that are our home. We have fruits and vegetables. So when I say strawberry, you know strawberry is not a Nigerian fruit. When I say kiwi, kiwi is not indigenous fruit. But when I say agbaluma, you know it is our own. When I say iyeye, you know it's indigenous. When I say oro, how many of you know what oro is? Students, how many of you know what oro is? Oro? Nobody. Now you see what we're talking about. Our indigenous things are gradually going extinct. If food technologists don't know what oro is, those are our indigenous fruits. So we have spices, we have dairy products, we have oil seeds, we have nuts. Many foods that are traditional to us, they originate from this place. They grow only in this place. And we have the indigenous knowledge of processing them. You know, like as we said, cassava to fufu, to gari, to akpu, to acha, to abacha, to different products, tapioca, cassava starch, sorbitol, those are things from cassava. I would like to go quickly into the challenges that our indigenous products, our indigenous food crops, they have that makes them uncompetitive in the global market. Now, let me say this. The course you are studying, if you understand the course you are studying, it is a course that you finish, you don't have to look for a job. It pains my heart when I see food technologists, students that graduate, study food technology, and they are complaining that there is no job. It pains my heart because it seems to me like people don't understand what they are going to school to learn. Because AI, technology, digital tools will never replace food. Even though robots, AI is taking job from engineers, taking job from others, because we will not eat AI. Every morning when we wake up, we will eat. I will eat today. population is expanding. For food is also growing. So if you really know and understand what you are doing, you will always be a business. So I will go through the challenges of indigenous food products. Number one is that our indigenous products are very highly perishable, especially fruits and vegetables. Those ones that have high moisture content, they spoil very easily. And because we also have enzymes active in them, because the climatic condition, the weather condition of the tropics where we are is very favorable to the growth of spoilage microorganisms. So that's one of the challenges, spoilage of food, because they are very perishable and the climate also supports their spoilage. Also we have seasonality. And when, due to this seasonality, there are droughts at different times. For example, around January, February, March, agbalumo will be in season. Now, you will see agbalumo anywhere. After agbalumo, mango will come. After mango, another fruit will come. So when agbalumo is in season, you practically see it everywhere. And they sell it from next to nothing. But I'm sure if around this time now, somebody brings very fresh agbalumo to you, and calls it, maybe before you bought agbalumo, maybe 2 for 100 naira. And now they brought one and say this one is 500 naira. For somebody that really likes agbalumo, you buy it. Because it is off season. Now what happens off season is that there is loss. Because our indigenous products, we have very little end user industrial demand. What do I mean by that? Orange, pineapple, strawberry, there are industries, along the supply chain. There are industries at the end that collects the raw fruits, turns them into jam, into juice, into different products. But for agbalumo, have you seen any agbalumo products in the market before? Have you seen agbalumo juice before? Have you seen agbalumo jam before? Have you seen any from yeye before? That is one of the problems of our indigenous crops. There are little end user demand. So all we do is just buy them and eat them fresh when they are in season. So farmers that produce these things, they end up losing a lot when and they have to sell it cheap. Because if they don't sell it cheap, it is spoiled and they will lose everything. Okay, so seasonality and drought during harvest is another challenge. And next to that, as I've explained, is that they are very much underutilized. We don't use them for anything much other than fresh consumption. And then hygiene standard. I didn't mention about people processing cassava. Anybody does anything. People want to ripen banana, they put carbide. They put all sorts of different things. Hygiene standard is terrible. People, there is no control, no guidelines, no regulatory guidelines for handling of this fresh commodity. If you look at apple, you look at strawberry, from where they are produced, there are standards, there are regulatory frameworks that determine how they are handled, how they are processed, how they are packaged, the condition for packaging, and how they are transported. But here we have, the other day I posted on my LinkedIn page. In front of you, I saw one taxi just drove past. It was coming from Aki Market. It was going to Bodija. You see the way the tomato was stacked and packed and loaded into Marwa. In fact, that Marwa carried about, I can't remember now, but unbelievable number of baskets of tomato packed together. And then by the time it gets to Bodija Market, over half has become a shop. And then they will have to sell for less the price. So hygiene standard is terrible. Like 2 weeks ago, a research group that I work with, we went to Bodija to go and interview retailers of fresh fruits and vegetables. And we saw 2 guys. They were cleaning carrots. So these outside guys that usually sell carrots in wheelbarrow. So we saw them in their shop. In fact, I took pictures. I wanted to have it in my slide, but I forgot. The carrots they were scraping and cutting. If you see the mold in that carrot, if you see, you will never touch it. But they will scrape and cut and wash and still put it on the market and we buy. And many of us will just buy like that, we don't even wash, we just eat it straight. Because hygiene standards are not controlled. Everybody does anyhow. So that is one of the major problems we have with our indigenous crops. Then, linked to that, weak processing, packaging, and preservation system. Okay? What do we use to package? What do we use to process? What do we use to preserve? People had anything. Now, carbide, in bread making, for example, sweeteners like saccharin and coal, they are banned. But we know that bakeries, they still use these things. Who is controlling it? Who is? I teach a course at 500 level, sugars and sweeteners. So when preparing for that course, I now went around the market. You know all this sachet stuff that you pour, whenever you use it to produce your zobo, you pour and it will become sweet. You don't need to use sugar. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know them. She's not here. She's on the phone. She's not here. You know those things I'm talking about? Eve, those sachets, sweeteners, flavors. You use it for your zobo. I mean, I've used it for zobo before. Yes, thank you for being truthful. Now, those things contain certain sweeteners, aspartame, acesulfame, potassium, stevia, so many of them, so many different sweeteners. Sweeteners that they have like 700 times the sweetening power of sugar. What that means is that a spoon of aspartame will give you the same sweetness that 700 spoons of sugar will give you. Those things, many of them, they have regulatory standards. When you go to NAFDAC sites, the standards are there. But the use, the enforcement of those use in food products, nobody controls it. In fact, I found one of them that NAFDAC website claims that cyclamate, that's one of the is a banned item because it has been linked to causing infertility in men, to be carcinogenic. On that website, cyclamate is a banned item. But I found that one of those things used to do. I found it in the market. They boldly wrote there, cyclamate, and the thing has NAFDAC number. So, it is in your hands. In our hands, all of us, what we put in our mouth determines how long we live directly. So that is by the way, and that is one of the examples of the weak processing, preservation that our indigenous products, indigenous food processing has. That can never happen outside Nigeria or maybe more advanced economies. Quality control, food safety standardization, I've mentioned that. Now, more challenges before we go to the opportunities. And where you where you fit in, where you can be the solution to the problem we have in Nigeria, where you can find your niche. Another issue is power challenges. Okay, now, so I have the knowledge. I want to start a food processing company. I want to start producing maybe dried fruit. Okay, because agbalumo, nobody is processing agbalumo. Let me start doing dry agbalumo. So that when it is not in season, it can be available. Okay? Now, I bought a dehydrator. I wanted to start processing, and then NEPA took lights. And I was looking at, okay, then I bought petrol to the generator. And after I finished drying, the cost became too much, nobody wants to buy. So one of the other is edible insects. So let's leave edible insects to one side. This is dry agbalumo. This is agbalumo jam. This is agbalumo juice. These products, after my research, along the line, I've published papers on agbalumo, and I saw that agbalumo is a super fruit that we have so underutilized, underexploited, undervalued. Nutritionally, agbalumo is a powerhouse of nutrients and health-promoting properties. Now, I'm sure if I put agbalumo here and I put apples here or strawberry, and I ask you to pick one, which one will you pick? Strawberry. It's the same thing for all of us. We prefer abroad something to our home indigenous. What if I tell you that agbalumo has 6 times the vitamin C in orange? Orange, agbalumo, the same weight. Agbalumo has times 6 the vitamin C present in orange. Agbalumo has a lot of flavonoids, phenolic compounds, and antioxidant properties that help in disease prevention. Agbalumo peel, the peel, is particularly good for diabetes treatment. Agbalumo peel is especially good for infertility, especially in men. See, these things I'm telling you, I'm not just telling you, you think I have done so much. No. See, evidence I've gathered during my research of over 17 years on agbalumo, I can tell you for a fact that some of these things, I did not even know them when I was developing those products. But, somebody bought, there's a drink I make from agbalumo peel. Let me rush. Alright, so people buy and then they come back and tell me, madam, that thing I bought from you, it did this, then I will go back to that and check to confirm. And I'm telling you these things, they are evidence-based, you can check them out. Agbalumo is this. From agbalumo, I have developed about 8 different products. I currently have a PhD student working on chewing gum, commercial chewing gum from agbalumo. Of course, agbalumo, when you chew it, becomes gum. So why don't people develop it into a commercial chewing gum? I have a PhD student working on that. So I'm saying this to encourage you. Now you see these products, the dry ones, I don't even have market here in Nigeria. Because if I tell you to go and buy this one for 4,000, how many of you will put 4,000 down and buy this? You say, is it not just agbalumo? You don't like agbalumo like that. But you see this, I sell it outside the country. I have a lot of markets for this outside the country. The jam, a lot of markets outside the country. This one has more markets here. Because you drink it, you can feel the difference. And look at my packaging. I didn't just do it like this in one day. This is over years of improvement and improvement. They are not registered. And we have done a lot to take it to this stage that it is. Now it's 1 minute more. Alright, so research findings, I say, must inform local agriculture and nutrition policies. We are talking about increase in diseases, people that don't used to have cancer, diabetes, all this is very common now. It's directly linked to what we are eating. So policies should inform local agricultural and nutritional policies. And policies should support research funding and innovation incentives. I've said that. And we should also consider about diversity. Please make sure that you are aware of the things that are indigenous to us, so that we both will not be teaching you your own language. Alright. So the collaborative, imperative, what we all need to do is a partnership. Don't just work in your own silos, lecturers, don't where you are, collaborate. research, academia, the government, private sector, NGOs, community, and because collaboration will transform knowledge into real-world impact. Let me just move. Okay. Indigenous food product research must lead to actions and solutions, not just publications, not just fulfilling all righteousness. It must lead to solutions. We must protect our biodiversity. It must not be lost to development or exotic preferences. I tell you, where I usually buy or source my agbalumo from, there are villages where agbalumo is all they do, that's their main business. But all these estates, 5 minutes from express, 5 minutes from, they are cutting off all those trees. We are losing our biodiversity to development, and to exotic preferences. Now you prefer strawberry to agbalumo, but I'm telling you, agbalumo will do more for you than strawberry. So policies must be implemented, not just drafted. I thank you all very much for listening.
Program, and she said something to us. She said, she won a scholarship basically based on this agbalumo to Germany, and she told all the photos that she took there. Please give her a big round of applause. Thank you, thanks for the comment. While the speech was going on, our deputy provost administration came in person of Dr. amazing mom. I can recall during our accreditation process. Oh, Father, even doctor, she carried chairs. She moved around with us. She actually made that accreditation possible. And let me give that honor to Dr. Mrs. B.M. Pato. God bless you. All right. Quick one. Thank you, Judy. Okay. The Deputy Provost Academics in person of Dr. Mrs. Opele and the Dean, they'll be leaving us very soon. I'm sure they are not leaving us in anymore. Now, I think it's remaining like 5 minutes. So we have another program that we are also hosting within the college, and we also have to be duly represented. Please let's bear with us. They need to leave our presence now. Physically, they will not interact. They are with us. Thank you so much for the love. Thanks for being there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mama. God bless you. So let me also recognize one of our senior colleagues. She is a chopper excellence. She's a technologist, but her technical know-how. You see, this is your girl that is standing right in front of you. She was part of those that trained me when I came in here for service. And recognizing her presence, her love, her support, and I'm giving that honor to Mrs. Felicia Ojo. Thanks for being here. Thank you, ma'am. So we're going to the next seminar presentation, which will be handled by Dr. Omena. But before he comes up, his citation is going to be read by Mrs. Umwani. Thank you. Let's have you. A round of applause. Thank you, ma'am.
Called by Provost to attention. Good morning to the invited guests, all our invited guests here. everyone. The brief professional profile of Dr. Emmanuel Chukwuma Umena. Dr. Emmanuel Chukwuma Umena is a senior research scientist at the Institute of Agriculture, Research and Training Department. His research focus cuts across food processing quality, enhancement, food safety, product development, and value addition, with special interest in nutrigenomics, biotechnology, public and environmental health. His career journey started at Joint Community Primary School, FCAIB, Ebonyi State. He attended Eza High School, Amozu, Ebonyi State. He proceeded to Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Enugu, where he obtained his BSc degree with second-class upper division in applied biochemistry, 2006. He studied nutrition biochemistry at the Ambrose Ali University, Egoma, Edo State, where he obtained his MSc degree, 2014. He further proceeded to the same Ambrose Ali University, Egoma, where he bagged his PhD in nutritional biochemistry, 2022. Dr. E.C. Umena is a recipient of the award of the Netherlands Fellowship Program on Food and Nutrition Security, 2017. And he is also a recipient of award of Argentina African Fellowship Program on Food Sovereignty, Social Inclusion and Value Addition, 2024. We are not clapping for him. The head of Life Science Center at the Institute of Agricultural Research and Training, the RRT, Obafemi Awolowo University, 2002 till date. He also serves as the head of the Food Quality Control and Assurance Laboratory. Dr. Mena has over 12 years of research expertise in food products development, safety assessment, nutritional enhancement, and food preservation. He also served as the head of the food quality. His research focuses in indigenous Nigerian food systems, functional food canal-based innovations, oxidative stress mitigation, and bioremediation of oil-polluted soils. He has led and contributed to several federal government of Nigeria funded research projects. He has developed several technologies, including eco-friendly, canal-friendly techniques, Kenef green tea with improved health benefits, and Kenef biostimulant powder for oil spill remediation. He has also worked extensively on Roselle-based products, indigenous grains, underutilized legumes, and functional food formulations. He is a member of several professional bodies, including the Biotechnology Society of Nigeria, BSN, Nigerian Bioinformatics and Genomics Network, African Science Network, Society for Underutilized Legumes, Functional Food and Nutricentic Associations of Nigeria, among others. He has received international trainings in bioinformatics and agri-food innovations. Dr. Omena has published 34 research articles in both local and international peer-reviewed journals. He has made more than 20 conference presentations on food processing, nutrition, phytochemical, fiber technology, and environmental biotechnology, thereby contributing significantly to sustainable food systems and agricultural innovations in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby present to you Dr. Emmanuel Chukwuma.
deans, head of departments, other deans, guest speakers, distinguished scientists, the great Nigerian students, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me an honor to be selected as one of the guest speakers, and I want to thank God for organizing this program, and it gives me almost pleasure to talk on the topic that lies at the heart of nutrition security, to talk about the topic that revolves around culture. Food is our identity, and it gives me joy that I am here to talk to our students. And I want to appreciate the head of department for these collaborations. Well, the first guest speaker has done justice, starting from the opening remark of the post, and her top speech has done the justice. I will just do the summary and we'll go to another section. Is that approved by you students? So because I'm not going to waste your time, I want to crave your indulgence that you can play with your phones and give the audience. Well, we are talking about indigenous Nigerian food processing, challenges and solutions. And I know very well that yesterday you went around, you were on the tour, and you visited my program, though I was not there. Did you visit ABAP yesterday? Students, those of you that went on tour yesterday, did you visit ABAP yesterday? The green building at IART. Did you visit there? Did they take you around to our house? Okay, good. We are going to do more. Any other day that you feel like doing what we are told, feel free to come. Okay, so because the first guest speaker has done so much on the topics, and I don't need to bother so much. I'll go through a little touch and we'll go to another section. So we are talking about indigenous Nigerian food processing. By way of introduction, the first speaker has told you what indigenous foods are. But the processing of these indigenous foods is where I am going to develop on. Indigenous Nigerian food processing is not just an industrial activity. Like your HOD has encouraged you can become a food agro processor tomorrow by the time you graduate. So, indigenous food processing does not just focus on let us produce. It tries to bridge the gap between agriculture and nutrition. And what is nutrition? Nutrition is just a process by which all organisms, whether it is plants or animals, including humans, obtain nutrients from food and use them. So, indigenous food processing revolves around bridging the gap between the rural livelihood and the national development. You were asked what are indigenous food. Some of you say the food that are being produced in our local environment. That is correct. We talk about culture. Indigenous food shows people's culture, the way of life. When we go to the southwestern part of Nigeria, though we eat a way in my place in the east, but the way we prepare it is quite different from the way we prepare it here. Okay? So that shows the culture of the people from the west. But by the time that the way the soup is also served to you in the east, it may be prepared differently. So we are going to talk or to learn more on processing. Nigeria is richly blessed and it's endowed with diverse indigenous foods. We have them in the form of cassava, millet. The first speaker has said a lot about it. Potatoes, legumes, and yesterday those of you that went around, we were showing our indigenous food that are we classify them as underutilized labels because nobody wants to eat it. People are seeing it as a poor man's food before. That is how we categorize our indigenous food. And I believe so much that some of you, if they put side by side the local foods, you can move please, you can move so that I will show them something like Move on, move on, move on. Let's be on the same page. Move on. Okay, so like some of us, if these foods are being processed locally and it's served to you, some of us will not accept it because it is not appealing. Or some of the staples we eat, majority of our Gen Z generation now, we prefer to go for Indomie, pastas, mention it than to take some of our indigenous foods. That is the problem we are having. People are not accepting it anymore. People are seeing it as good, poor people's food, because some big reason is difficult to cook, it's difficult to prepare. That is not always the case anymore. So why are we talking about indigenous Nigerian food processing at this time? Because it is a process of adding value to those indigenous crops that are the value we are adding is based on local technologies. And these technologies originated from the local communities. A woman that is preparing Iru, Dawa, would have even gone to secondary school, but is processing it and people are buying it. So over the years, communities have developed unique processing methods like fermentation, grating, drying, smoking, roasting, boiling, and so many of them. And these processed foods are available with us, but we don't value them. We don't value them. Some of us, like the first speaker has mentioned, we know the stress involved in pounding yam, especially if you have a family of 5. And they are to pound yam manually to serve to the whole family members. You will sweat, and if care is not taken, your hands will kill if you to do that manually. So, you are potential stakeholders in the food processing industry. That by the time you leave here as a graduate, you should be able to think outside the box. We thank God for the emerging technologies that are coming, but they are coming from the Western world. We now have the yam pounder, the one we can use, but there are problems which we are going to discuss. So we have diverse foods, indigenous foods, and some are wasting away. So the methods that we're using are very good, but we need to improve upon them. The provost, when she was talking, he mentioned about fermentation, using controlled fermentation method, whereby we use a starter culture instead of allowing it to last for 3 to 4 years. You can get it within 24 to 48 hours. And you are the one choosing the organisms that are beneficial to your health. That is improvement on it. And that is why this program is very important, because some of you may not know where to go. And perhaps by the time you be choosing your project topics, take to work on, and you need some of these underutilized food crops, you can come to us at FCAIB. We have so many examples free of charge. Yes. Then the collaboration with you having it. And I want to tell you, we thank God for the intervention of God Fund. We have related it to our quality control lab. Okay? We have some of state-of-the-art equipment, and they are under solar power system. So we do some analysis, without necessarily depending on local. So we can do more collaboration after now, like the one of FCAIB. We are sending projects to the chambers and we are working together. So you can call, while we are working, we are doing your project, you know what is being done, not that they give you the results. Are we following? So, this process, why is it important to process our indigenous foods? One, it is important because it will improve the digestibility. It will reduce the anti-nutrient factors in the food. Some of you, if you prepare your beans the way some of our old parents do it, you'll be having flatulence. Some of you will be fatting up the egg. But there are ways you can ferment it, you can soak it. With simple technology, it will give you more products that is more appealing to you. So, indigenous food processing enhances nutrient availability. The World Health Organization says over 30 million Africans, including Nigeria, is suffering from malnutrient deficiencies. And that is the great problem. Because some of our food, the nutrients, when you add value to food, it makes it better. Some people are eating, they are just eating chunks. So we should be conscious about what we eat. Even as a prospective food technologist, you should be conscious of what you eat. Developing food processing technologies or methods helps us to develop functional food with extra health benefits. When you talk about the fruit juice that she displayed here, I think last month we were together in a conference with the top speaker. We patronize that agbalumo juice like nothing again. I never knew about it. We had a conference in the Oshogo last month, and in fact, you see the patronage. So it is good to think, what can I do? Because these foods are seasonal. Look at mangoes. Some waste away. Nothing, no way of preserving them. Is there no way of extending the shelf life and making it more appealing to consumers? So when we develop them, it becomes a food that has health benefits. What you eat defines you. What you eat defines you. And that is why we must take this serious. The prophet mentioned that the majority of the processing is being done by women. Traditionally, processing, if you don't compare the big grinding of food in the market, you see, more than 70% of the people doing the business are women. So it is a women-led enterprise. When we process our indigenous foods, it's a way of preserving our culture and maintaining our food identity. If you go to the north, I remember in 2018 when we were there for the conference, they gave us tuwo. Have you tested tuwo? Is anybody from the north here? That is the way you value our land, the value tuwo like that. And in the list, we talk about melon delicacies. They mentioned all specially processed from oil seeds. They are there. So we want to look at the challenges. One of the major challenges, just in addition to what the first speaker has said, was having cassava is a major step, but there is no market. A ton of cassava tuber will be sold now. If you see somebody that will buy it, less than 10,000 naira. And that does not encourage the farmers that are producing them. Until they soak it, ferment it, dry it, and have it in the form of a report. The price is nothing compared to the value and the garden from the said cassava. Because of the post-harvest process, you cannot harvest them and keep them long without processing them. We have a problem of poor storage facilities. There is no electricity in Nigeria anywhere now, and everybody is going green. Solar, financial constraints. So agro processors that we have gotten some of these modern processing equipment do not have capitals. If they approach bank for loan, the higher interest rates, or something has to provide collaterals, which they may not have, and this is affecting indigenous food processing in Nigeria. Inconsistency in quality of the products, like the first speaker mentioned. You see some of those women, they will come and spread their food by the roadside, exposing it to all manner of insects, dust and all that. That leads to contamination, open dry. So that is a major challenge. Are we talking about the toxin risk? Like in the case of cassava, you have cyanide. But when it passes through the proper processes, frying, toasting, fermentation and all that, you will get rid of the cyanide. We have the problem of aflatoxins, whereby this microorganisms that is for aspergillus, fungi, the mold will grow and it will still due to poor packaging. You see some of us that publicize packaging in jute bags. If you pack a grain, corns, in such bag under wet, damp condition, is bound to have aflatoxin contamination. It leads and eggs, they are the planet variability. Some of our products will become in the season, so the high temperature will make them more perishable. So these are the major challenges we are having. What of infrastructure? No network that connect rural community to the city. And when we have all demand of this food is in the city. Everybody wants to live in the urban. No roads. And some of the vehicles will sleep on the road for a number of days before it leads to the city. Inadequate processing facilities, unreliable power supply, and lack of cold chain. No, what do we call it now? Cold rooms. I think it's the only one that is in Abaka. And if you look at the number of people that go there to buy products from there, and it's specifically for fishes, lack of cold chains is affecting the systems, and they depend on either diesel or petrol. What are the possible solutions? You as a young upcoming entrepreneur who may find opportunity in this. The government do what they're supposed to do. Building of road network to link the rural communities with the cities, improving on processing technologies. You know, some people they are still using manual peeling as a method of processing garri. They have to peel. Imagine when you have to peel tons of cassava tuber. So we are talking about automated processing. I don't know if they took it our garri processing center yesterday. Okay, we have automated, we have automated peeler, we have dry fryer, we have grater, we have the chain, and it was a cost of 10 for us. So I didn't display some of our products that we produce here because I believe we're in the same compound and I'm trying to keep tendency. So that is why I show it in this slide. Apology for that. But whatever you want to see, you can come down when they say campus together. Thank you. Now, I want you to take something home because I understand, I was just going to understand that the one and two. And I have to come down from my big grammar and all that. So, when we are talking about safety, hygiene concerns and standardization, anywhere food is being produced. Have you heard of FCAIB? Can you write it down, students? FCAIB. Food technology space, have you heard of that one? Hazard analysis and critical control points system. You have heard of it? Can I hear response? You have not heard. Okay, FCAIB and GMP. Okay, if there is no other thing you learn today, I want you to read that for me. FCAIB means hazard analysis and critical control points. It's a safety principle that is applied in every lab where food is produced or food is being handled. In industry, in restaurants, everywhere you are producing your food. Now what does that mean? It has 7 principles. Are we together in class? It has 7 principles. The principles of analyzing the hazards. Where is it coming from? Is it biological? Is it physical? Is it chemical? Like, for instance, you buy meat from the market, and the meat contains salmonella, the one that causes typhoid. Because contamination can lead to food, but you need to cook that food or to cook that food beyond 74 degrees Celsius for you to kill that organism, or else it will move to your body system. And you know the problem, foodborne diarrhea and the likes. So, anywhere the food is being produced or processed, you must observe HACCP principles and GMP. GMP means good manufacturing practices or protocols. Okay? So, now we are talking about green economy, green power, solar power. Government should subsidize solar power processing machines. And we understand that if we allow the processing of food in the hands of these local people, indigenous people, the way they handle it, they cannot even manage or handle contaminations. So the use of starter culture or control fermentation is being advised. Call for permanent smart value addition and processing. Take aside the box. How do I add value to what is existing? What is new that you want to do? For instance, in packaging and in branding, many places today they will say, I'm not eating that, it's rubbish. They look at me. I remember when we were in the Netherlands, the days they feel that they want to give us treats. They took us to one hotel where African food is being processed. Do you know what is unique there? We have tomato stew. That is what is unique. Other ones they will put giant different things and concussion that we don't eat it. Most of us who are selected don't take the one that you know have problem there with our body system. So for that day they say they want to do same for us. It took us far off. And what we saw there that is different, we are seeing raw tomato stew, fresh, that was being prepared in our presence. So they value it. But we Africans, we are here patronizing imported ones. Economy, you use your system, all those things makes you age. And that is what we're talking about functional food. They are food that you eat and it degenerated DNA. Before you know it, you look older than even your parents. You begin to ask, you say it is a stress. Entrepreneurship opportunities. As you are here, if you are in the two, begin to think, what can I do that I will impact value in people's life? How do I solve problem of food losses in our society? Look at where we are coming from. I saw my neighbor one day. If a customer did not buy the paper over time, she will go to her compound and spray it. So I asked the woman, are you telling the woman, don't you know you will dry this paper and it become valued? You can grind it after dry. But she believed that if people did not buy it fresh, it rottens, it is wasted. Why waiting until it rotten? So when you are coming, look at the locality. What are the raw materials available for you? Cassava is being wasted, nobody wants to buy, nobody knows. Everything is very cheap. But we can get cassava flour can give you bread. There is a society I belong to, we call it functional food and processors. Whenever we come for that meeting, for that sort of conference, the food will be eaten is functional. Nobody will give you important anything. If you want to take juice, they will blend it in your presence. You point to the food you want them to serve you. They will blend it there and serve you raw. Is that not innovative? And students, they break their eating their tomato bread from food. A project, PhD student developed it, and the supervisor patented it. They have a carrot. They started selling it. Tomato bread, very sweet. If you are passing through Futa, you see people queuing up to buy that bread before the gate of Futa. That is the bread, and it's very functional. So our indigenous food have export potential that we can benefit from if we package it well. Research and government policy. That has been the problem of Nigeria. Our researchers, some people are believing that, if you give technology, those in the village will say this one is not practicable, it's not practicable. And so the link between the agro-processors in the local communities and those in the institutes, the gap is so wide that they cannot connect. So So if there is a support for research and development in food science, it will boost our indigenous food processing. Standardization of indigenous food products. If NAFDAC should make it more competitive, look at the analog that the first speaker has mentioned. What is banned? Somebody saying it's elsewhere with NAFDAC number, but we don't even know whether the so-called NAFDAC level on it is genuine or fake, or he's using someone else's approval number to sell his product. So they should make it competitive. If food is well packaged, advertised, then they should give them, allow it to go into the market. And this time around, we need to do digital marketing. Many of you are here, you are on your phones, trying to communicate somebody that is outside here. If the food product is being developed and advertised on social media, you get more to know of it. Can we have a maybe in a data form? Can we have an online stand powder? These are the things that we make people to patronize it or to accept it. Introduction of HACCP principles in both small and medium scale industries and establishment of pilot study form of processing hubs in local governments, research institutes and universities. The first speaker has much about it. Creation of low interest loan for agro processors. Like some of you are upcoming, by the time you finish, you are MD, you are HND, you want to start a company, you want to start doing something on your own. You could approach Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, all agricultural development banks still are bound by policy to support that innovation. But their conditions may not be so flexible for you, for the entrepreneurs. That is the issue. In conclusion, my dear listeners, indigenous food processing remains a vital tool for food security, nutrition, and economic development. When organized and when they are properly supported, let us promote Made in Nigeria food campaign and let us eat locally and take globally. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's that? That means you put a lot of hard work gave us some beautiful words to take home. And like he said, collaboration. And I guess we've been doing that. They were great supporters to us when we were doing our accreditation process. Thank you, Dr. Mina. Because some of their laboratories were what we presented. Because even the accreditation team also encouraged shared facilities. So we had to go to them and they actually welcomed us with so much open hands. We were still there yesterday and the love was amazing. Thanks for being there all the time. And when he was talking, he gave us some key words. He gave us some terminologies as food scientists. We are all food scientists because we actually handle food one way or the other. I'm sure we all know how to do something. Can't we? Even when we are cooking at home, we ensure food safety. Is it not? So we are food individuals. So thank you for your patience. Thanks for sitting down. Thanks for supporting us. And thanks for being part of this program. You are great. Please clap for yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So Dr. Mina, thank you for your speech and thanks for that beautiful seminar presentation. So questions, do we have questions? It said some beautiful terminologies to us, HACCP, GMP, what's the meaning? Let me show you the cards. Let's have a little break. Those have been going on and on and on. And I recall we were told to put some jottings, to jot some things down. So you said the terminology. HACCP, what's the full meaning? HACCP. Okay? Let's give her a round of applause. Let's acknowledge her. Beautiful. Let's give her a round of applause. So Dr. Mina, you were actually listening. That was awesome. Thank you. Analysis critical control points. So that I don't miss that A. Thank you so much. We're going to be having another speech. You're like, oh, this speech is too much. But when I was giving some sweet words, you're like, When I said we are the only profession that sells air, you were curious, isn't it? I remember it's one of my lecturers that said that word. Dr. Mrs. Uzo Peters. We call her Mama Food. So let's have just this one will not take so much time. He is not here with us physically. We'll be having the presentation on Zoom. So but I know we'll learn a lot. Because we brought in our colleagues, Dr. Mrs. Folashade Adeboye was from the University of Ibadan. So we brought in Dr. Omena. He came in from the Research Institute. So now we have someone also from the food industry. Now that yesterday I said our course is multidisciplinary. We can find ourselves in different places to work. So he is in the food industry. So he is going to be telling us some things about the food industry and how we can also bring about collaboration. But before he takes his speech, his citation will be read by one of our colleagues, Mr. Abdullahi. Please let's have him. Thank you. Please let's give him a round of applause as he comes. Thank you. Our SLT student, where are you going to? Where are we going to? Where are you going to? All right. Okay, hold on, please.
Before the citation, I want to say something. At this junction, I want us to listen very, very well. Please, don't be too much in our way to do. We have a lot to learn from this time. If I don't know anybody's story, I know. If I don't know anybody's story, I know his story. And through this career, as a food scientist, food technologist, he has gone to almost every part of the world. So begin to see yourself that, okay, this is my day of humble beginning, or these are my days of humble beginning. I too can go global, just like he said, and you will. You just have to think about it. So I know his story, we all sit together like this in the classroom as students. As he's speaking now, he's not even in Nigeria. He's not speaking to us from the shores of this country. He has taken his time. He's supposed to be sleeping now. He's in the US. He's supposed to be sleeping now, but when I told him that I want you to speak to the students, I want you to challenge them, he said, why not? He said, why not? When we were students, he was my departmental president. He was my departmental president. I was one of us, I was an ESCO as well. So begin to look at it. You know, these things are achievable. God bless you.
Good afternoon.
Citation of Mr. Adekunle Olayola John is currently the country manager of URUS.
The microphone is not working.
Mr. Adekunle Olayola John is currently the country manager for URUS Genetics in Nigeria, bringing over 24 years of experience in agriculture, food processing, and livestock development. He oversees Nigerian operations, projects, and stakeholder engagement. He is also a CEO of a family business, Mommy Delicious Food Service. John's professional experience spans quality assurance, production, management, business development, and project management. He has served with UACL and Food Concept PLC, pioneered the dairy development initiative of Friesland Campina, Wamco in Nigeria as the head of dairy development. He set up 35 milk collection centers across Nigeria and worked with over 20,000 farmers, youths and women inclusive. An initiative that revolutionized local dairy industry in Nigeria. John currently champions the genetics improvement of cattle breeds in Nigeria with the aim to improve livelihood and improve food security in the country. Please clap for him. John works and collaborates with international partners such as IFDC to scale the USA, AgriChem Netherlands, IITA Nigeria, and Barrenburg, South Africa. He has managed projects funded by the Dutch EFDOR and the Bill Melinda Gates Foundation, focusing on quality, improvement, livestock development, food safety, sustainability, food security, youth and women empowerment. He currently leads the agriculture team of the Commercial Investment Partnership at United States of America and Nigerian Trade Partnership. George is a member of International Institute of Food Technology, IFT, and the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, NIST. He is also an avid expert. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Mr. Adekunle Olayola John.
So please let's listen attentively. Yes.
Very well. Good afternoon, everyone. Standing and listening protocol to Provost and distinguished lecturers, and of course my co-colleagues, young food technologists, great Nigerian students, greatest of the greatest people. I bring greetings from my other colleagues and also from the dairy industry, food and dairy industry. Can you hear me, please?
You can hear yourself.
Okay, my name is Adekunle Olaiwola. I am also a young food technologist, like the guys in the room, the students in the room, and also colleague to your HOD. I will be speaking more on these topics, which will be challenges and opportunities in Nigerian value chain. And what am I looking at? It's the food sector, the challenge, opportunities, and transformation potentials. Of course, I hear it's about indigenous food, but I decided to put it as transformation potentials. And also looking at the food security and livelihoods of Nigerians. Why indigenous foods? I topicked why indigenous processes of Nigerian foods. One, it's because of the food security which we face in the country. Nigeria faces a critical shortage of food for the populace. We need to develop our own indigenous food, which is abundance in different rural areas. Looking at also employment generation. Why do we need indigenous processing of Nigerian foods? Why? Employment generation. If we begin to produce, this will lead to huge employment generation because we've got different products in the country, different farmland with different. I hear all our senior lecturers have been talking about a lot of all this. They've been talking about it and saying, hey, we have this to process and value more, and everything that you talked about, maize production and all that. So you can imagine if you are either a quality assurance person in the room, either in any of these industries, you lead to a whole lot. You could be a processor, you could be a bureau, and all that. Stemming from all these products that you mentioned, and all agricultural food products that you mentioned. We also look at why indigenous foods Nigerian foods. It's also for cultural preservation. Outcome of food processing will help with strong heritage preservation of our local foods. Example is what our senior lecturer just mentioned, one of our prof or doctor just mentioned. We talked about preserving heritage. If we keep importing foods, then we lose our heritage in terms of, we talked about the environment. There's also a whole lot. I come from a state in Ondo State where today, even in the United States, everybody tries to import it into the United States. Why? It's called pukuru. Pukuru is our natural heritage. By the time you take it with very nice black soup, as they say, you will sleep very well. So it also helps us to preserve our local foods if we process our indigenous foods. And of course, the last one on this slide is the rural industrialization. Process indigenous Nigerian foods. This is going to help us in terms of new factories leading to industrialization of our rural area. And the Western world, people don't live, the big guys don't even live in the city, they live more in the countryside, which is even the rural area. Why? Because everybody wants near to raw material. And this helps, because with that you see this rural area being developed, because factories will set up, people in the road network will come, and of course some very good people will want to build some very good houses. So you listen to industrialization of the rural area. We call it area, but then if we begin to process our local foods, which are more in the villages, then that rural area will become urbanized or industrialized, I would say. So I look at the key challenges, which you all thought looked at on the past couple of years, and which is something we've been learning from day one, is one of the raw materials challenge. One, we have seasonal pattern, which is the post-harvest losses and climate variability. These are one of those very key challenges that we see. Raw materials to process indigenous foods, as an example. You want to set up a factory factory in one village, and it comes seasonal. So what it means is that you only work maybe 6 months or when it's available. So these are one of those challenges. Also, the post-harvest losses, if it's not properly done, that's also another key challenge. And of course, the climate change. We all know what's going on right now. It's happening everywhere right now. Climate change, things are beginning to change based on climate change. When you expect to have dry season, you don't have it. And we know why this is happening. And so these are also affecting the raw materials for production. Infrastructure. All reliable electricity, poor road network, and limited water supply. Also affecting, these are key challenges that also affect processing of indigenous food. If we don't have stable electricity, yes, people are going solar now, but then it's more cheaper, cost effective to do all this. If you have good roads, then your goods are being processed very well. The cost of raw is also very low because then you don't keep charged. You are not being charged by transporters taking your food from rural area to local area. And also limited water supply. Also, they don't have enough water in some of these rural areas, which is also when our lecturer was talking about HACCP. It's one of part of the control points that we look at in indigenous food processing in terms of having the right, good quality water to process all these foods. And of course, the third one, which I'll look at, is the food safety challenges. And of course, these are where we as food scientists or food technologists need to really play. And as young food technologists or in the you guys should look at this properly. This is where you play. And this way you help solve the problem of the Nigerian populace in terms of processing indigenous food because of the poor hygiene that is in there. People don't really focus on the hygiene side of it. And of course, also the packaging. The packaging is also one of the issues that play a big challenge to our indigenous food, the way it's being packed. And that's why we did packaging in school. And that's why there is opportunity for in terms of the right packaging for the product, indigenous products, and also traceability and certification. These are also a kind of challenge that happens. These are key challenges that some of those foods produced indigenously cannot be traceable because they are not traceability in there. They are also not right certification to be sure that these foods are for human consumption. So these are some key challenges we will look at. It's also like an opportunity for us at the end of the day. Of course, also technology. In some places, you have low mechanization, and of course, poor productivity and obsolete machineries. These are also key challenges to help optimize our indigenous foods where you find them in all the villages where we plant. But you find out that most of these post-harvest losses are also attributed to others because we are not able to produce, there's low mechanization, there's poor productivity in terms of the right hybrids that are being used, either because they have the right fertilizers or the wrong inorganic process, fertilizer or process gaps. These are things that are key challenges that we look at. Also, the fifth one is the finance gap. Today, indigenous foods are in there, but production, one of our key challenges is high rates, interest rates, and limited access to affordable credits. We don't have the right, the interest rate is huge. You want to get interest rate today, except you approach Bank of Industry or Bank of Agri, it takes a lot of time. You get rate at 30%. This is killing the profit margin. Or it's hampering people processing indigenous food. Rather, they like to import it because it's way cheaper since they have all the apparatus from where they are bringing from the country, from all over the world. The other one that we will look at is the market access. This is another aspect where we need to look at. Market aspect is one where we look at. We have weak branding and poor distribution network. These are things that we need to look at and ensure that we are ready for export readiness. So these are challenges that really has affected what we are doing today in indigenous indigenous food processing. You can imagine when you process it and you don't have the right branding into it, how are you going to get right access to send to cities and people are saying, hey, we're happy with your food. And of course, the distribution network, it's also one. Getting the right distribution network based on all this is also another key challenge to be able to have market penetration and of course export readiness where whatever we produce, to get certification for it, you need to have all the parameters for export, which at times we are not able to get in a country based on the level of preparedness or export readiness. I move to the other one, and in terms of this, you look at limited value addition. Yeah, like we said, the processing facilities where a shortage of modern processing plants with food safety in place. And I was happy that our lecturer was already talking about that. The doctor was saying about putting HACCP, which is for me one key that the students in the room should also look at as food scientists or food technologists. You need to look at that. There's shortage of that. Even when you want to do your IT, you will see what I'm talking about. You get to places where you cannot even find the right, you can find the right facility to work with based on the studies that you have. Of course, also cold storage, liquid revision infrastructure for preservation. These are also what is limiting value addition. And I'm speaking more on this because this is where we play so much as food technologists. Facility, the cold storage aspect of it, where whatever we are processing, we don't have the right infrastructure to store them. You process chicken as an example, you process goat, dairy, or milk, for instance. You collect milk in the village, you have cows that farmers are rearing, and then you need to ensure that these are all preserved. And these are things that we need to work. How can we get it right in terms of food storage? And of course, the raw product focus, emphasis of quality processing at farm level. This is becoming something that we need to do. Nigerian presents only a few part of these products. This will be the income and job creation because we are food technologists, that's where we are. We would not allow the food to lie, indigenous food lie fallow in villages. We need to pay emphasis on producing quality at farm level, making sure that we are not doing quality control, but it's quality assurance. Why? Because from the beginning, we start looking at how to help them from the post-harvest. As the farmer is getting his harvest, we'll put something in place to help ensure the right quality from the beginning. And so our job starts from the farm, not at the factory. In fact, as quality assurance manager, I worked many years, and that's also extended to you in the room. It's important that you look at it. Most of you want to work in the factory, but then take a look at it. Don't wait for it at the end factory. You wait for it. Start from the farm level. That's where actually the quality assurance starts, and that's where our work actually starts from. Of course, the financing gap I mentioned already, and investment gaps. Less than 5% of bank credit in agriculture in Nigeria goes to agriculture.
I think it's from them. Yeah. It's not my network. Let's swap it. Maybe you should. I will change it now. Well done. Your network connection, I think. Any available internet because you can connect to me. Any available internet. You can connect to me. Find the time. I'm strong with the information. Copy connect to me. Then I disconnect to me.